Hey Mark, have you heard of what designer babies are?
I'm not really familiar with that. What is that?
Oh, it's actually a baby whose genetic makeup has been artificially selected by genetic engineering.
Oh my gosh, I have some knowledge on that, but like, what side are you on? It's a very controversial topic.
I'm for it. I think it's very interesting. What about you?
I'm against it.
Oh, let's get into
So
it.
Sammy, how can you be for designer babies? Like, isn't the whole idea of like creating an embryo outside of the body and then inserting it back into the womb, doesn't that just sound unnatural to you?
Well, think about it. When we talk about GMOs, like genetically modified organisms, we're eating those and putting those into our body and changing the genetic makeup of plants and fruits. For example, farmers actually alter the DNA to make plants genetically resistant to pesticides or herbicides. So I think it's basically the same thing. Why can't we do that with babies? To alter genes for desired traits.
But I mean, you're talking like fruits and vegetables, but like it's a baby, you know, it's much more complex and like how can you compare fruit and vegetable to a baby?
When we alter genetic makeup, you can also reduce the risk of genetic diseases and the risk of inherited medical conditions and a lot more. So I think that's actually benefiting the human society as a whole. You heard about the Princeton University study?
Are you talking about the one they did on mice?
Yeah, so they actually altered the NR2B gene in the mice, and they found that this improved powers of learning and memory in the mice. And we actually found that you can alter the human same gene, and that would actually create humans with improved quality of memory.
So the article you're talking about, so in the study actually, what they don't mention is that today, like modern day, the technology they're using to insert the genes in, it's not as specific as we think. They actually insert the genes in different random places. So what could happen is while you're trying to insert this beneficial NR2B gene, you could actually insert it in a wrong place, which could cancel out another gene, a crucial gene that a baby could need to survive. Another thing that we fail to overlook is that yes, while although the mice did have better intelligence and could retain information better, they also found that the mice started having a greater sensitivity to pain, which is actually bad because if you were to try that on a human, while yes, they might be smarter, you don't want them to have greater sensitivity to pain. That would actually be a step back rather than improving designer babies.
About the quality of life improvement that the human race would have with designer babies. We could increase the lifespan of up to 30 years. We could also prevent the next generation of family from getting characteristics and diseases. And we can alter a baby to inherit desired characteristics.
Are you talking about altering our kids to be tall or have athletic ability?
I mean, you can do that.
That's just wrong. I disagree with that. That's just altering their different characteristics and their looks and their height. That's just loss of individuality. Like, just think years from now, are they even human? By doing that and designing babies like that, where they're just losing their individuality and losing their humanity. Like, at that point, we're just designing little robots. They're not real humans.
But if we're already in there altering genes against specific diseases, why not change characteristics and traits like eye color and hair color?
But you know, I just don't think it's right. I mean, I understand if you're doing it for a medical purpose to try to maybe prevent a kid from, like, you know, getting sick later on or inheriting a bad disease, but just sitting there and, you know, picking hair color and eye color, man, that sounds weird to me. I don't think that's right.
Actually, a procedure called PGD that's only offered to couples at risk of having a child with a serious genetic disease.
Well, isn't that a really expensive procedure though?
Yeah, it's actually a really expensive procedure. Most people can't afford it.
Well, then how is that fair that some people, just because they have more money, they are able to save their babies and prevent them from having health risks down the road, but just because I don't have enough money, I can't save my own kid and I'll just watch them live their life suffering from diseases?
Mark, that's actually a really good point. That would actually create a bigger gap in society because only the wealthy would be able to afford to design their own babies.
So I guess we can both agree here that if we're using designer babies for a good purpose, like trying to eliminate, like, you know, diseases or health issues down the road, then yes, we should go on and continue with that. Just make it more available for everybody. But if we're just gonna do it for enhancement, such as, like, you know, giving them height or a different hair color and such, then no, we should put an end to that. Good debate.
Good debate.
Good debate.